So it looks like the width of the jam is 40 inches, 39 7/8, so it's 40 inches wide. These little steps are 1 inch deep on these flanges, which means our 2-inch tubing can rest on that and stick out 1 extra inch. This is 2 inches. So that gives us a total of 2 extra inches on top of 40. The corrugations, so there's 42 right there, so it works out perfect. We made a series of toe clamps out of some 2x4s and some shim stock under each, one at each corner to tie it down, measured for square, and to make sure the jam opening at the top and the bottom match. We had a little bit of bow in this jam because we got it from a used storage place, so we put a board in there to get that line and get it plumb with the bottom. So I think we're ready to weld.
Cool. Folks, we got a door. Jeremy finished up the fabrication yesterday and this project turned out amazing. So Jeremy, as usual, you knocked the ball out of the park. The wife's gonna love it because now she can access the inside of the shipping container through this door and not through the big doors that she has to wrestle with on the end. Let me tell you a little bit about how he ended up the project. So he seam welded the entire perimeter of not only the box tube to the shipping container, he also did it from the door frame to the box tube. So this thing is structurally sound and it should be airtight and watertight for the foreseeable future. But just in case, we applied a bead of caulk around it, so hopefully we will have no moisture concerns. Let me show you just how well this actually turned out. So all the corners are welded up, everything's seamed, and then when you shut the door on this, it's not only square, but it's flush with the side of this shipping container. This thing looks like it was sent from the factory this way. Really ecstatic about how everything turned out. Let me show you a little bit on the inside here. So this was a 3-hour fire rated door. So what we did was we had to cut it down and then re-tack everything from the top to the sides to make sure it was square. And then that allowed us to be able to, when we install our 2x4s, you'll get a good interface between the 2x4 and the metal frame. So it should turn out and look amazing. The other thing is when we finished up, we applied a primer to the inside and then applied a coating to the outside. So hopefully we will not have any problems when we apply rust. And then we're going to follow it up with putting some spray foam into the gap here, so hold out any moisture from entering into the shipping container. So I'm ecstatic about the way this turned out. If you like the project, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. If you got any comments, make sure you add them on there. And we look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Yeah, we got there's a 3-hour fire rated door off of Facebook Marketplace. So the advantage of that is Home Depot and other places don't stock this stuff, so we were able to go pick one up. Paid about $200 for it, roughly. So the problem is the door jamb was wider. We were already going to have to do some stuff anyway. So in the previous part of the video, you saw Jeremy fabricated up a 2-inch square steel tube that we used as the frame. So we cut out the opening to the container, installed a 2-inch frame, which worked out. It was fantastic. We used it for the template to actually cut out the hole plus actually mounting up. Got probably maybe 3/4 of the way welded, still need to do a little bit more.
Yeah.
So then going back to the door frame was probably like maybe 5 or 6 inches wide. We only needed the width of a 2x4. So we went around with the cutoff wheel, cut out the outside. So all this stuff is going away. And I got the width down, and this was all Jeremy's idea, which turned out fantastic. So the width of it pretty much mounts up straight up with the 2x4 facing.
So actually go right in there.
So we'll be able to get in there. So we're going to be able to tack the inside of the frame into a steel tube, so we'll get a lot of strength from there, and then we'll also get some extra strength from the 2x4 frame. So it's going to turn out really well. The project's going great. We're kind of on a crunch because I'm going to try to get it insulated next week. So we try to run the electrical this week, finish out this wall, and get all that done. So how did you think about that project?
I think it's good. I think we had a plasma cutter, make things a little quicker, but maybe not as accurate. So a cutoff wheel, it's hard for you to get in trouble too fast. So if you start to come off the line or whatever, it's not all the way through, and you can try it over again. So yeah, it worked out good. I mean, the door definitely is not intended for this purpose. It's a metal door made to go into a metal building or a concrete block building, so it has an 8-inch jam to it. But you know, it was cheap, and it's all metal, and it's fully welded to the outside, and it'll be nice and secure for us.
Yep. So from tool perspective, using a MIG welder on the outside, we have to, like I said in the other video, it's been a challenge because there's no electric currently to the lot. So we're using a generator to power that. And then on the inside, you got the DeWalt power tools, which like ever since you let me borrow them, man, those things are amazing. So I would continuously try to buy more of that type of tools.
I think that when you go to weld the door jamb to the frame and the frame to the outside of the container, it's not necessary to fully seam weld it. We're doing it just because we're here in Florida, and you can caulk it, and then every 5 years you're going to need to caulk it. So at a minimum, you want to stitch it like maybe every 6 inches with like a 1-inch weld, and then you go over that with some high-grade exterior caulk, like 35-year window and door. But down here in Florida, we say 35 years, but you know, 4 or 5 years would be all you get after you know, the heat from this metal container shrinking and growing. So
cool. So we're off to get some wire, and then we'll finish up the door frame. So thanks for watching.
thanks for subscribing.
Boom. Thumbs up.